Who loves scary movies? The term, as above, so below, refers to a standard tenet of alchemy. Whatever a person does on Earth is reflected in the spiritual plane, and vice versa. This movie is a found footage haunt, which for the longest time was not a very favorable style. Especially after the notorious tanking of the Blair Witch Project, be warned now. This may contain spoilers. Released in 2014, this movie is quick to the draw with action. We are immediately introduced to our main protagonist, a young archaeologist named Scarlett. Without much context, she and a group of individuals are in Iran, searching through some catacombs for a piece of history that the government is about to detonate. We quickly learn after she finds what she's looking for, that she's ultimately looking for the Philosopher's Stone, and her father's quest for it led to nothing but madness. Cue title sequence, and then we're shifted to a new location where Scarlett is being interviewed by her cameraman Benji, purposely avoiding the question about her father and his descent into madness for his quest to find the Philosopher's Stone. Like and follow for part 2. But who loves scary movies? As more of an air of mystery continues developing around Scarlett and the history behind this quest, they arrive in Paris and continue investigating for their video journal. We're treated with some more lore about Nicholas Flamel, the man who discovered the Philosopher's Stone. And Scarlett indicates that the location is written in a language that she can't read, but she knows someone who can. She and Benji hunt down a man named George, and Scarlett fills George in about her find in Iran. He agrees to help her translate it, but that's it. Scarlett's able to piece together all of the clues, and she figures that they need to go into the Paris catacombs to find what she's looking for. Scarlett and Benji, they recruit some local cataphiles, and they charter them to be their guides into this underground necropolis. As they all find the entrance and begin filing in, the police show up and try to stop them. The team gets away, and they make their way deeper into the catacombs. Like and follow for part 3, but who loves scary movies? After our group gets away from the police, things start getting eerie really quick. The atmosphere is just one of claustrophobia, which hammers in that feel of unsettled very well. They almost immediately come past an open chamber with people in there chanting and having a strange ritual. Ignoring all of that, they're informed by the leader of the cataphiles that they're going to have to crawl through this really narrow tunnel that's filled and stacked with bones. The group argues about which path they're going to take, Scarlett pointing out an alternate route. Papillon, the leader of the cataphiles, argues that they had a friend that went that way and was never heard from again. Well, they squeeze through that tunnel, and Benji begins to panic from the claustrophobia, his reaction causing the tunnel to collapse behind them. They collect their bearings, and they quickly realize that where they ended up looks exactly like where they just came from, leaving only the bad path for them to travel through. Tensions rise, but they're quickly distracted by the sound of a telephone ringing coming down the corridor of the bad path. Following the sound of the ringing phone, Scarlett finds it, answers it, and is only greeted by the sound of a disembodied voice. Not getting any information from the voice, she hangs up, and they quickly stumble into the long-lost friend. You won't believe what happens next. Like and follow for part 4. Who loves scary movies? The long-lost friend that they had believed had passed in the catacombs informs them that the only way out is down. Ominous, but okay. They begin rappelling down a hole, where an accident occurs and Benji injures his hands. They bandage him up and keep going. They successfully pass through a couple of room traps until they stumble into a room with a corpse dressed in Templar armor, in which their next clue is to continue going further down. Scarlett finds the Philosopher's Stone in a room filled with treasure. However, the rest of the team, being a little too overzealous, cause a cave-in. The long-lost friend is gone, again, presumed to be a victim of a cave-in this time. So Scarlett finds another tunnel for them to climb through to proceed outward. However, what they find is that they just entered the room that they just came from, and everything is backwards and upside down. Taking of the stone seems to have been a trigger for the spirits, and they begin knocking out the characters one by one, in ironic ways to traumatic experiences that they've all experienced in their lifetime. Will any of them make it out? Like and follow for the conclusion, but who loves scary movies? Things had already escalated at this point, but going from here it takes it from a 10 to a 100. They continue witnessing these horrific sights and experiences, all the while continuing to go down further. With everything now being in a backwards kind of reality, Scarlet realizes that she did not get the Philosopher's Stone. She makes a mad dash back to the location where she found it. Replacing the fake, she reveals the true Philosopher's Stone. Being in possession of that allows her to heal a gravely injured party member. They finally come to a large hole in the ground, and remembering the term as above, so below, she convinces everybody to jump down this hole. If you've seen the movie, you know what happens. If you haven't, I'm going to leave you to find out for yourself. I was not personally a fan of the found footage style until I saw this gem. It was really well done, the atmosphere was on point, and the scares are very legit. I personally rate this title a 9 out of 10. What are your thoughts? Like and follow for more.